Hi friends, it's Alyssa and welcome back to my channel. So I just want to start off first by asking, are you tired of boring chicken dinners? If you are, don't worry, I have you covered because in this video I'm going to be sharing 3 chicken recipes with you that are perfect for any busy weeknight. These dinners come together quickly, they're easy, they're delicious. You can also throw some of these in the freezer as a meal prep dinner if you'd like, and one of them you don't even have to turn the oven on. So with all that said, let's go get started on the video. So the first recipe I have to share with you is one of my favorites. It's so good, so easy and delicious. Most of it's made in this one pan. You just have to cook the pasta separately on the side at the end and then toss it. It's a great dinner and perfect for busy weeknights. So here's a lineup of everything that I use for this dish. So I have heavy whipping cream, butter, cherry tomatoes, Parmesan cheese, minced garlic, spinach, sun-dried tomatoes, and then for seasoning, I have smoked paprika and then salt and pepper, and then you're gonna also need chicken thighs. So here I have my chicken thighs. I'm just seasoning both sides with smoked paprika and then salt and pepper to taste. So next I just got one of my large cast iron skillets. You want to make sure to use a pan that you can put in the oven that's oven safe. I'm using cast iron. You don't have to use that. You can use anything else. Just make sure you can put it in the oven. So in this dish, I am just adding in my heavy whipping cream, my spinach, my sun-dried tomatoes, and my cherry tomatoes. And then I'm also adding in a couple tablespoons of minced garlic and then getting that all mixed up. Next, I just lined up my chicken thighs right on top of that mixture, and then I also like to top a little bit more extra seasoning into this. I just do the smoked paprika and a little bit more of some salt and pepper. You don't have to do this, it's optional. I just like to give it a little extra topping of that. And then I put my cube butter that I had cut up into little squares on top of the chicken, and then I gave it a good shaving of some Parmesan cheese on top. So my oven has been preheating to 375 degrees. Once it was done and ready to go, I just got this dish right into the oven and I'm going to cook it for 35 minutes to start. At the end, it is also going to cook for 3 minutes under the broiler, just to kind of crisp everything up on top. So when this dish was getting to the end of its cooking time, I boiled some water with some salt in it and I got some rigatoni into the water to get that cooking, so then that can get tossed into this dish. So once the chicken was ready to come out of the oven, I took it out and then I'm just removing the chicken thighs from this dish and I'm putting it onto a plate because I just want to have them out of the way so when I toss my pasta, I can just throw it in there and toss it up easily. I also make sure when I drain my pasta, anytime I drain pasta, I usually always reserve a little bit of the pasta water off on the side just in case I want to use some of that for my sauce to help thin it out. It's completely optional, but that's usually what I try to do. So I drained my pasta and I got that rigatoni into the sauce. I gave it all a good toss, and when I dish this up, I just put the pasta mixture with the sauce on the bottom and I put one of those chicken thighs on top, and then I topped it with some more Parmesan cheese. This dinner is so good and delicious. It's so easy. Like I said, it's all made in this one pan mostly except the pasta. I love a delicious, easy dinner like this for a busy weeknight. The next chicken recipe I have to share with you is this delicious lemon garlic chicken over mashed potatoes. This dinner is so good, so easy. It's always a hit when I make it for my family, and it definitely tastes like a dinner you would get at a nice restaurant, but you're getting it for much cheaper at home. So here I'm just starting off with 2 large chicken breasts that I cut in half lengthwise, and then I'm just going to cover it with some plastic wrap. I'm going to use a meat mallet, and I'm going to use the textured side of that meat mallet, and I'm going to pound this chicken out to about a half an inch or so of thickness. And then I'm just seasoning these chicken breasts with this lemon pepper seasoning that I got from Trader Joe's. If you don't have this, don't worry, you don't have to use it. You can definitely just use salt and pepper to taste, and then maybe add some garlic powder if you have that. If you don't have that and you just have salt and pepper, it'll be fine. Just season it with what you have. And then I just took about a 1/4 cup or so of flour, and I sprinkled a good amount on both sides of these chicken breasts, and I rubbed it in with my hands to give a good coating of this flour on it. So once the chicken was ready to go, I just got my cast iron skillet on top of my stovetop. I got some olive oil into it, and I got that heating up. If you don't have olive oil, you can use whatever oil you have on hand, and just add in a couple tablespoons and get that heated up before you add your chicken in. And then I just got the chicken breast in, and I'm going to cook this about 4 to 5 minutes each side, and you just want to get that nice golden crust, as you can see right here in the video. Once you've temped your chicken and found that it's fully cooked through, set it aside and then go ahead and make your sauce. So I just have 2 cups of chicken broth that I am adding in about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Next, I added in about 2 teaspoons or so of this Better Than Bouillon paste that I had on hand. If you don't have this and you just have the chicken bouillon cubes, you can put one of those in as well, and you just want to give it all a good mix. Next, I just got a cheap white wine. I went with Sauvignon Blanc. I like to use Sauvignon Blanc usually when I make any type of dish that I have to use a white wine. And I just added in about 1/2 cup or so into the cast iron skillet. And then I'm just scraping all of the little bits of chicken and the stuff that cooked down onto the pan. I'm just scraping that off and getting it into the sauce. And then I just added in some minced garlic and then also some butter. And then I got that butter to melt. Next, I just added in 3 tablespoons of flour. I gave it all a good mix. It starts to form into a thick golden paste here. You just want to cook this for about 1 to 2 minutes because you want to make sure you cook that raw flour taste out. Next, I just slowly added in that chicken broth mixture that I had made up earlier with the heavy whipping cream into this dish. You just want to add it slowly and stir continuously as you're doing it. And then I just got a whisk to whisk this up a little bit better because you can see there's chunks of that paste that weren't really breaking up very well. So I like to get a whisk and help those break up a little bit better. And then I just get this to come to a boil and then simmer for about 5 or so minutes. And then I add in my Parmesan cheese and I give that a good mix. Next, I just got my burner on low just before I wanted to add in my lemon juice. So I got it on low, let it cool off a little bit, and then I just put the juice of 1 lemon into this mixture and gave it all a good mix. And then I just got my chicken breast added back into this. I gave them a flip on both sides to kind of help soak up that mixture, and then they're going to cook in here for about 5 minutes. While that chicken was finishing off cooking in the sauce, I just made the topping for this. So this part is completely optional. You don't need this, but it definitely adds a lot to this dish and it's so good. So I just melted about a tablespoon or so of some butter. I added some panko breadcrumbs, and then I also added in some garlic salt and gave it all a good mix. So to dish this up, I just served mine with some mashed potatoes. It's so good with this because you can get the sauce on top of those mashed potatoes, kind of like a gravy, and it just goes so well with this dish. And then once I top some more sauce onto the mashed potatoes and the chicken, I just top that chicken with the panko breadcrumbs right on top. This dinner is always so good. It's a perfect fall dinner, I would say. So with fall coming up, I think this would be a great dinner to try out. It's always a hit with my family. My girls love it. The lemon cream sauce with the crunchy panko breadcrumbs on top. It's just so delicious and it pairs perfectly with the mashed potatoes. The last chicken recipe I have to share with you are these delicious chicken pesto sandwiches on a ciabatta roll with a garlic aioli sauce. These sandwiches are so good and filling. Everybody in my family always loves this dinner. So the first thing I wanted to get done was get my garlic aioli sauce made, and then I just set it aside. So I just did mayonnaise, garlic, minced garlic, and then lemon juice, and then salt and pepper to taste, and gave it all a good mix. So here's the lineup for everything that I used for this dinner. So for this dinner, you can make chicken breast and then shred it. You would just cook it any way that you know how to cook your chicken breast. Season it with salt and pepper, garlic powder, whatever it is that you like to season your chicken breast with, and then shred it. I always get rotisserie chickens. I've shown it before. I shred the meat and then I freeze it. And this is a great dinner to go along with that shredded rotisserie chicken. So I have a bowl of shredded chicken that I have right there that I got out of my freezer and defrosted. And then I used mozzarella cheese, I have my garlic aioli sauce, I have pesto, and then tomatoes and red onions. So I just get my ciabatta rolls. I love this sandwich on a ciabatta roll. It's a hearty bread to do with this because there's a lot of sauces going on, and I also like to kind of do a panini press style with my cast iron skillet, and the ciabatta rolls work perfectly for this. So I get my garlic aioli sauce on one side of the roll, I get my pesto sauce on the other side of the roll, I shred that chicken breast on top, I top it with the cheese and then the tomatoes and the red onions, and I get the top on it just before I put it into my cast iron skillet. So what I'm going to do next is completely optional. I'm going to kind of do a panini press style sandwich. If you don't want to do this, you can just do the sandwich without this and it would be just as good, but I completely recommend this because it definitely adds a lot. So I got my 2 cast iron skillets ready to go. I got one heated up really hot. I put the sandwich in, and then I got the other one right on top to smash it down and let it cook for a minute or 2 on both sides until it kind of gave a panini press form sandwich. This sandwich is so good. It would be perfect for lunch, but I love it for dinner, especially on a very hot day. This day we were hitting about 115 outside. I didn't want to turn my oven on, but I also wanted a nice dinner for my family, and it was perfect. I love this sandwich. It's so filling and so delicious. All right, everyone, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. If you're new here, I would love to have you. I post videos all about food. I love to share my recipes with you, as well as meal prep videos. So make sure to subscribe down below, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.